Wednesday Season 2 is officially in development, and these are the 6 biggest theories for what will happen. Wednesday Season 1 was a massive hit from the moment it premiered, with the show quickly surpassing Stranger Things Season 4 for highest viewership in the week of its premiere and eventually becoming the second most watched English-language show in the history of Netflix. Many have praised the show for its horror elements mixed with lighthearted camp, with Jenna Ortega's performance as Wednesday Addams seeing a special acclaim, and it was hardly surprising to see the show be renewed for a second season. The Netflix show being renewed invites speculation of what will happen in Wednesday Season 2. Wednesday Season 1 largely worked as a standalone story, but there were still a few story threads that were left unresolved, in addition to certain elements that could have benefited from being expanded on. There's no way of knowing how Season 2 will progress at this point, but right now, there are 6 big theories for what might happen. One big theory for Wednesday Season 2 is that it will see the rest of the Addams family take on a larger role in the show. One criticism levied at Season 1 was that the rest of the Addams family were largely uninvolved in the show outside a few episodes. It made sense with the premise of the show, but it was still odd to see an Addams family show feature so little of the Addams family. With that in mind, Wednesday Season 2, with any luck, will rectify that by having the rest of the family appear more often. As for how the Addams family can have a bigger role in Wednesday Season 2, that would be easy enough to justify. With everything that happened in Season 1, it could be that the Addams family tries to spend more time at Nevermore Academy to make sure Wednesday doesn't get hurt again, or it could also be as simple as Wednesday having more calls with them on her crystal ball. Either option would also serve to continue Wednesday's arc of building a better relationship with her parents, so it would make sense for Season 2 to go in that direction. Another big theory for Wednesday Season 2 is that Principal Weems will return in some way. While Weems died in the Wednesday season finale, she could have used her shape-shifting abilities to fake her death in some fashion, possibly to throw Laurel and Tyler off her trail so Wednesday could finish things on her own. Gwendoline Christie even pointed out in an interview that the Season 1 finale never showed her funeral, via digital spy, so that adds extra weight to the idea that she might be alive. Conversely, even if Principal Weems is definitively dead, that wouldn't prevent her from appearing in Wednesday Season 2. For example, if there are more flashbacks to Gomez and Morticia's time at Nevermore Academy, then a young Weems could appear in them and allow for her character to be further developed, if only posthumously. Another possibility would be Weems coming back as a ghost to help deal with Wednesday's mystery stalker, something that would fit with the mechanics of the series and also allow for their dynamic to be developed further. Whatever the case, there are plenty of ways for Wednesday to justify bringing Weems back to the show. As of now, it's unknown who any of the villains in Wednesday Season 2 will be outside of Wednesday's stalker, but one idea is that some of the conflict will revolve around the Morning Sun cult. Morning Song is a cult of sirens disguised as a community for self-help who use their powers to brainwash people into giving them all their money, and Bianca's mother and stepfather are the ones in charge of the operation. Morning Song hasn't made a physical appearance in Wednesday, but they've been established as an antagonistic force for Wednesday's Bianca Barkley, so it would make sense for them to appear in Season 2. Morning Song being involved in Wednesday Season 2 also makes sense with one of the unresolved plot threads of Season 1. When Bianca's mother Gabrielle appeared in Season 1, she told Bianca that she had to return home at the end of the year to help her keep Morning Song afloat, under threat of revealing that Bianca used her siren song to get into Nevermore. That plot thread wasn't resolved by the end of the season, so it would make sense for it to be continued in Wednesday Season 2, especially as it would allow for further development of Bianca's character. Another big theory for what could happen in Wednesday Season 2 is Percy Hynes White's Xavier being revealed to be a Hyde. Throughout Season 1, Xavier was plagued by dreams of the Hyde, but it was never explained why he was having them beyond vaguely being tied to his psychic powers. If Xavier were secretly a Hyde, however, then his dreams could be explained as a subconscious expression of his other half, possibly triggered by Tyler's actions. The fact that Hydes are described as artists by nature also supports the idea, and having Xavier deal with that could work to continue his struggles with getting people to trust him. Xavier being a Hyde could also tie into the plot thread involving Xavier's father, Vincent Thorpe. Vincent has been characterized as an image-obsessed man who wanted to keep the problems of Wednesday's Xavier Thorpe quiet to preserve his reputation, and that could stem from Vincent not wanting people to know Xavier was a Hyde. That could also be used to make Vincent sympathetic, as it could be that Vincent wanted to protect Xavier by not drawing attention to his being a Hyde. Whatever the case, it would be an easy way to integrate Vincent into Wednesday Season 2, so it wouldn't be out of line for the show to go in that direction. Given Season 1 ended with neither Laurel Gates nor Tyler Galpin dying, so it wouldn't be out of the question for them to reappear in Wednesday Season 2. For Tyler, an easy way for him to be involved in Season 2 is for him to break out of prison and either join up with Wednesday's stalker or become an independent antagonist. Conversely, if Wednesday's Tyler Galpin is involved in Season 2, he could have an arc of overcoming the trauma Laurel put him through that could end with him becoming a good person again and an ally to Wednesday and her friends. Laurel Gates could also be in league with Wednesday's stalker, but another possible angle is for her to stay in prison and advise Wednesday as she works through Season 2's mystery. Something like that would make Laurel a Hannibal Lecter-type character in Season 2, which would be perfectly in line with Wednesday's tone, and it would also allow for Wednesday to continue exploring the idea of Christina Ricci's Laurel Gates being a sort of mentor to Wednesday. Naturally, there would be plenty of tension between them after the events of Season 1, but that could add a new layer to their dynamic and make things even more interesting to watch. The last big theory for Wednesday Season 2 is that Wednesday and Enid will become a couple at some point. While both girls were only involved with boys in Season 1, Enid with Ajax and Wednesday with both Xavier and Tyler, it was more common for people to see Wednesday and Enid as a more appealing couple thanks to their friendship being given far more depth than their romantic relationships. Having Season 2 make Wednesday and Enid become a couple could be seen as a logical conclusion to the way they've been written, and the fact that the writers are open to everything further supports the idea.